Hello students, today we are going to start our next chapter that is all related with the fault analysis. Okay, and the main contents under this chapter are transients on transmission line, then short circuit of synchronous machine, then selection of circuit breakers, then algorithm for short circuit studies. Then there comes a symmetrical component transformation, construction of sequence networks of power system, then symmetrical analysis of unsymmetrical faults that are line to ground fault, line to line fault, double line to ground faults using the symmetrical components. So before starting with this chapter, so we are going to start this chapter from this topic, symmetrical component transformation. That what are the different symmetrical components, like sequence components are there, like positive sequence, negative sequence, zero sequence components are there. And after covering all these topics, then we going to shift to this topic, transients on transmission line, short circuit, and so on. Okay, so let's start with this topic now. So from the basics, that what is fault analysis? So under the normal conditions, a power system operates under the balanced condition with all equipments carrying normal load currents and bus voltages within the prescribed limits. That means when there is no fault on the system, when the system is working under its balanced condition, the currents, voltages, frequency, power factor, phase angles all remains normal. Okay. And this condition can be disrupted due to the fault in the system. So, okay, if there is any fault on at any part of the system, so all these becomes abnormal. Currents, voltage, phase angle, all that shifts from its normal steady values. So that is the fault analysis. So fault in a circuit is a failure that interferes with the normal flow of current. Okay, the current become increasing or decreasing. Okay, maybe voltages may become high, may become low. So that is the impact of fault on the system. A short circuit fault occurs when the insulation of the system fails, re resulting in low impedance path either between the phases to ground. So fault may be occur at any part of the system, maybe in some device, in some equipment, or on the bus bars, or between any two lines, or between any one single line and ground, okay, or between three-phase fault is there. So this causes excessively high currents to flow in the circuit, requiring the operation of protective equipments to prevent damage to equipment. So what are the protective equipments to overcome from these faults? That are the relays, circuit breakers, okay, isolators. So what's the function of relays? That is to sense the fault, at what location the fault is there, and how to overcome from that fault. The circuit breakers can disconnect that particular faulty part, okay, or some isolators be there, okay, and many other protective equipments are there. But here in this chapter we are going to study only about the fault analysis, like if some type of any fault is there, so what is going to be happen with the currents, voltage, how their normal equations are affected with the presence of fault in the system. So that is all we have to study. The fault is called symmetrical fault if the fault current is equal in all the three phases. Okay, as we know that the our whole generating system or substations, that are all three phases. Okay, and if the fault current is equal in all the three phases, then this is called as the symmetrical fault. And this fault condition are analyzed on per phase basis using Thevenin's theorem or bus impedance matrix. Thevenin's theorem you have already studied in your previous semesters. Okay, and the three-phase fault is the only symmetrical fault. So under the symmetrical fault category, there comes only one type of fault, that is the three-phase fault. Okay, and this fault is the severest fault. It is the most dangerous type of fault, three-phase fault. And so there is other different types of faults, like shunt faults are there, three-phase faults, line to ground fault, line to line fault, double line to ground fault. Okay, so there are different types of faults. Now starting with the unsymmetrical faults. Those faults on the power system which give rise to unsymmetrical fault currents. That means the currents, the value of the currents or the magnitude of the currents are not equal in all the three phases. Okay, that give rise to unsymmetrical fault currents, that is unequal fault currents in the lines with unequal phase displacement are known as unsymmetrical faults. So basically the faults are categorized into two parts, symmetrical faults and unsymmetrical faults. So symmetrical faults when fault current is equal in all the three phases, and when the fault current is not equal in all the three phases, so that is called as the unsymmetrical faults. It may be noted that the term unsymmetry applies only to the fault itself and the resulting line currents. Unsymmetry means that are not symmetrical, that are not same, okay, that are different. However, the system impedances and the source voltages are always symmetrical, though its main elements, generators, transmission lines, synchronous reactors, etc. So there are three ways in which the unsymmetrical faults may occur in the power system. Unsymmetrical faults are further subdivided into three parts. One is the single line to ground fault, line to line fault, then double line to ground fault. So these are the main faults which give rise to unsymmetrical currents. So that's why these are called as the unsymmetrical faults. Because why they give rise to the unsymmetrical currents? Because here you see that in some category only one line is involved with the ground and the other two phases run smoothly, whereas in other type of fault two lines are involved with the fault and one line runs smoothly. Okay, and in this also, so the different currents will flow in different lines, so that's why it is called as the unsymmetrical faults. So this one is the figure for the line to ground fault when the only single line is faulted with respect to the ground. Okay, and here the fault occurs between the two lines. And here see, it is a double line to ground fault. Two lines are involved with respect to the ground. Okay, so these are the three types of fault under the category of unsymmetrical faults. Now, before studying the actual derivations for the unsymmetrical faults, so we must know that what are symmetrical components. Okay, so let's start with that. In 1918, Dr. C.L. Fortescue, an American scientist, showed that any unbalanced system, unbalanced means that is not balanced. The voltages, currents are distracted from its normal value. Unbalanced system of three-phase currents or voltages may be regarded as being composed of three separate sets of balanced vectors. Okay, that means this unbalanced system is equal to the sum of three balanced networks, vectors. Okay, like a balanced system of three-phase current having positive phase sequence. So these are called as the positive phase sequence components. The positive means normal phase sequence. So what is our normal phase sequence that we have generally taken in our systems, that all our three phases are uh, at an angle of 120 degree to each other. Okay, that is what we say. That red phase, yellow phase, blue phase, okay, that are 120 degree angle with respect to each other, and the generator is rotated in an anti-clockwise direction. That is, we say that becomes our normal phase sequence. Okay, so that this system is called as the positive phase sequence components. And next, a balanced system of three-phase currents having opposite or negative phase sequence. So these are called as the negative phase sequence currents. So here in this negative phase sequence, the phase difference is 120 degree between the three phases, but they are rotated in the opposite direction. ठीक है, opposite may be clockwise direction. ठीक है, so then we said that it is a negative phase sequence. Okay, and the system of three currents equal in magnitude having zero phase displacement, so these are called as the zero phase sequence components. So zero phase, as in both above two methods, in the positive phase sequence and negative phase sequence, the phase difference between them is 120 degree. But in case of the zero phase sequence, so here the phase difference is 0 degree. Okay, here the phase difference between the three phases R, Y, and B, that is the 0 degree. Okay, all are lying along the same line, but their magnitudes are equal. So that is called as the zero phase sequence component. The positive, negative, and zero phase sequence components are called symmetrical components of the original unbalanced system. Okay, so these three are called as the symmetrical components, and the subscripts 1, 2, 0 are generally used to indicate positive, negative, and zero phase sequence components respectively. Okay, one subscript is used for the positive, 2 is used for negative, and 0 is used for the zero phase sequence. For example, IR naught, IR 0, okay, indicates the zero phase sequence component of current in red phase. Here R means red phase, I means current, 0 means zero phase sequence component. Okay, so if it here is, if RIR 1, then that means the positive phase sequence component of current in red phase, like this. Okay, so these are the subscripts that we are going to use in our next going on lecture. Now, according to the symmetrical components theory, the resulting unbalanced currents IR, IY, and IB can be resolved into any single current like this. The current in the red phase, the current in the yellow phase, the current in the blue phase, it is actually the sum of three phase sequence component currents. Okay, like a balanced system of three phase currents. So what is the positive sequence components for these three? That is IR1, IY1, and IB1. Okay, they having the positive phase sequence, and see the figure accordingly. So here is IR1, here it is IY1, and here it is IB1, and it is rotating anti-clockwise. Okay, the rotation is anti-clockwise, and this anti-clockwise rotation we said as the positive phase sequence component. And see here, the phase difference between the three currents is 120 degree. Okay, when our current passing here, then after IR there comes IY, after IY there 120 degree comes IB1, and so on. Now see, a balanced system of three-phase currents IR2, IY2, and IB2 having negative phase sequence RBY, as shown in the figure 2, this one. These are the negative phase sequence components. Okay, so why it is called as a negative phase sequence? As you see here also, that after the red phase there comes the B phase, then there comes the Y phase, or as compared to this now, the direction changes to the clockwise direction, because after red phase there comes B phase and there comes then the Y phase. When this sequence is applied in any networks, so then it is called as the negative phase sequence. So for the negative phase sequence, the sequence is RBY. Okay, for the positive phase sequence, the sequence is R, Y, and B. The phase difference between them is 120 degree. Now number 3, a system of three currents IR0, IY0, and IB0 equal in magnitude with zero phase displacement. Okay, see here, there is no 120 degree displacement. Okay, so that's why this one is called as the zero phase sequence component. Okay, so this is the positive phase sequence R, Y, B. Then negative phase sequence R, then B, then Y. Or you can also say this in the opposite direction. Okay, and this one is the zero phase sequence. No 120 degree displacement in it. Okay, so these are the three types of the phase sequence components. The current in any phase is equal to the vector sum of the positive, negative and zero phase sequence currents in that phase, as shown in the figure like this. The current flowing in any phase, let us suppose this red phase, the current flowing is IR, and IR here, this one is equal to IR1. R1 is the positive phase sequence component of the red phase. IR2, 2 means here the negative phase sequence component, and 0, IR0, that means the zero phase sequence component of red phase. Okay, and similarly the current flowing in the yellow phase, that is equals to IY1 plus IY2 plus IY0, and similarly for the blue phase. Okay, and so it can be written in the form of vectors that IR, it is equal to the net current flowing in the red phase, it is equal to the vector sum of the phase sequence components. Okay, the vector sum of the positive sequence plus negative sequence plus zero sequence. So this together gives you the net current that is flowing in the red phase, and similarly for the yellow phase and then for the blue phase. Okay. So the following points should be noted down now. The positive phase sequence currents like IR1, Y1 and B1, negative phase sequence currents IR2, IY2, IB2, and the zero phase sequence currents IR0, IY0, IB0 separately form balanced system of currents. Okay, hence they are called symmetrical components of the unbalanced system. Okay, separately they are balanced, but together they give rise to unbalanced system. So they are called as the symmetrical components of the unbalanced system. So when we are going to study the fault currents, fault analysis, so we do all the derivations in terms of these symmetrical components. The symmetrical component theory applies equally to the three-phase currents and voltages, both phase and line values. The symmetrical components do not have separate existence. They only give rise to, together they give rise to the current flowing in any particular phase. They don't have their separate identity. Okay, they together, the vector sum of the components give rise to the net current. Okay, the symmetrical components do not have separate existence. They are only mathematical components of unbalanced currents which actually flow in the system. In balanced three-phase system, the negative and zero phase sequence currents are zero. Okay. In a balanced three-phase system, the negative and zero phase sequence currents are zero. That means if our system is balanced, if there is no fault in the system, then in that particular system, only the positive sequence components are there. That means the net current that is flowing in any phase is equal to the positive sequence component only. So in case of the balanced system, there is no negative sequence, there is no zero sequence. Only the positive sequence component is present in case of the balanced system. Okay, and these three together are present only where the system is unbalanced, where the system has fault. Okay, so must remember this line: in a balanced three-phase system, the negative and zero phase sequence currents are zero. So that's why they are called as the symmetrical components of unbalanced system, because if the system is balanced, so no symmetrical components are required, only one type of current is there, that is the positive sequence. So they are introduced only for the unbalanced system. Okay, now let's start with these parts, that how these sequence components are studied mathematically. Okay, so for that we have to introduce one operator A. So in some books it is written as alpha also. Okay, here in the PPT I am going to write down it as A, small capital letter A. Okay. So as the symmetrical component theory involves the concept of 120-degree displacement in the positive sequence set and negative sequence set, therefore it is desirable to evolve some operator which should cause 120-degree rotation. So for this purpose, operator A is used, and it is defined as the operator A is one which, when multiplied to a vector, rotates the vector through 120 degree in the anti-clockwise direction. Why here the anti-clockwise direction? Because this direction is related to the positive sequence component of currents. Okay. So what is the meaning of A? When A is multiplied by any vector by any value, so that means it gives that vector the rotation of 120 degree, but in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so consider a vector I. If this vector is multiplied by the operator A, the vector is rotated through 120 degree in the anti-clockwise direction. So A multiplied by I, it is equal to I with the phase displacement of 120 degree. Okay, and in the this complex form, it can be written as cos of 120 plus j sine 120 degree. Okay, or in the numerical values, cos of 120 degree, it is equals to minus 0.5 plus j, and sine 120 it is equals to 0.866. Or together it can be, so the value for A in this complex form, it can be written as minus 0.5 plus j 0.866. So this is the value for A, or in simple phase angle terms, it is angle 120 degree. Okay, now let's see what is A square. So A square means double the angle. Okay, so double the angle means 240 degree. So cos of 240 degree plus j sine of 240 degree. And the value for cos 240, it is minus 0.5. So sine 240, it comes out to be minus j 0.866. So what is A square? It comes out to be minus 0.5 minus j 0.866. So this is the value for A, and this is the value for A square. Okay. Now see here, thus the operator A square will turn the vector through 240 degree in the anti-clockwise direction. And this is the same as turning the vector through 120 degree in the clockwise direction. Okay. So whether you take 240 degree in the anti-clockwise direction, or you can also relate it equal to the 120 in the clockwise direction opposite. Okay. So A square I, it is also equal to I into minus 120 degree. Okay. Instead, A square I is equals to I into 240 degree. So this one is also equal to I into minus 120 degree. And similarly, A cube I, so this is equal to I into 120 into 3, that is 360 degree. Okay, so what is cos 360 plus j sine 360? So this gives you the value 1. Okay, sine 360, that is equivalent to sine of 0 degree, and that is equal to 0, and cos of 0 degree, that is equal to 1. So A cube comes out to be equal to 1. Now we have calculated the values for A cube, then A comes out to be this, A square comes out to be this, and when you're going to sum up them, so 1 plus A square, this is equal to 0. Let's see here. So A plus A square, so this j terms cancel out with each other, and you are left with minus 1. Okay, minus 0.5 and minus 0.5, this will gives you 1, and this gives you minus 1. So 1 minus 1, that gives you 0. So just remember this relation, that 1 plus A square, this is equal to 0. And also A minus A square. See here, A is this minus A square. Okay, when you subtract them, so these terms cancel out with each other and these terms add up. Okay, so this will gives you j square root of 3. So A minus A square, it is equals to j square root of 3. Just remember this term also. Okay, now come to the unbalanced phase current. The unbalanced phase current in a three-phase system can be expressed in terms of the symmetrical components that we have already studied. Okay, that IR, it is equals to the sum of the positive sequence plus negative sequence plus the zero sequence. And similarly, The current flowing for the yellow phase, the current flowing for the blue phase. Okay. Now, in terms of the phase rotations, so for the positive sequence, here it is IR1, here it is IY1, and here it is IB1. So IY1 is 120 degree behind IR1. So it can be written as A square IR1. Okay, or it is, if it is considered in the anti-clockwise direction, so this one is 240 degree away from IR1. Okay, so it is A square IR1. And similarly, IB1, this one is A into IR1. Okay, so that means it is 120 degree displaced in the anti-clockwise direction. So that's why it is simply multiplied by A, and IY is multiplied by AI square. Okay, and similarly, see for the negative phase sequence, here it is IR2, here it is IB2, and here it is IY2. So IY2, if in the anti-clockwise direction, it can be written as A into IR2, and this is equals to A square into IR2. Okay. And for the zero phase sequence component, all they are in the zero sequence, no 120 degree displacement between them. So now in the terms of equations, so this can be written as IR is equals to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR0, that we know. Now we have to write IY and IB in terms of IR. So IY, actually it is IY1 plus IY2 plus IY0. And what is IY1? Just see from this figure again. So IY1 is equal to A square IR1. Okay. A square IR1. Just put down the values by seeing the figure. And IY2, it is equals to A into IR2. And IY0 is equals to IR0. And similarly, IB is equals to IB1 plus IB2 plus IB0. And IB1, it is equals to A into IR1. Just see this figure. It is A into IR1, and here it is A square into IR2. Here it is plus IR0. Okay. So this is how the current IY and IB is written in the form of IR sequence components. Okay. So together they can be written as, like, see here, for the zero sequence component. Just add the equation number 1, 2 and 3. Okay, that means IR plus IY plus IB. So IR, it is equals to IR1. See here, when you are going to add all the equations now, so IR1, it is 1 plus A square plus A. Okay. IR2, 1 plus A plus A square. Okay. And for IR0, here it is simple. There is IR0 and IR0. That means 3 times IR0. Okay, so this is, what is 1 plus A square, that we have already seen here, that this one is equal to 0. So here this term is equal to 0, this term is equal to 0, and we are left with only 3 times IR0. So IR0 comes to be equal to 1 by 3 of IR plus IY plus IB. So how to calculate the zero sequence component for the red phase? So this is equals to 1/3 of the net current that is flowing in the red phase, Y phase and B phase. Okay. So as the red phase is always taken as a reference phase, so therefore the subscript R is usually omitted. So generally the zero sequence current, it is generally written simply as I naught, and this is equals to 1 by 3 of IR plus IY plus I. So this is a very small derivation how to calculate the current flowing in for the zero sequence. How to calculate the zero sequence current. Okay. Now next, for the positive sequence current. So multiply the expression 2 by A and expression 3 by A square. Okay, and then adding these expressions to expression 1. So we got, so just multiply this second by A and this by A square and add up to this first term. So this comes out to be IR plus A into IY plus A square into IB. Alright. So this is IR plus A into IY plus A square into IB. So similarly on this side also IR1, it is 1 plus AQ plus AQ. When you multiply that this one with A and this one with A square. So this is the equation you got. So and what is A cube? This we have already written. A cube, it is equal to 1. Okay. So A cube is 1. So this is 1. So together it gives you 3 times IR1. Okay. And here A square, what is A4? A4 is equal to A. That is A cube into A. So A cube is 1 and left with only A. So it comes out to be 1 plus A square plus A. So that is 0. So here it comes out to be 0. Okay, then next again 1 plus A square, that again 0. So this again 0. Okay, and this together gives you 3 times IR1. And from here you come up with the positive sequence current IR1, that is equal to 1 by 3 of this one. IR plus AIY plus A square IB. Okay, or simply omitting this subscript R, so simply the positive sequence current I1, it can be written as 1 by 3 of IR plus A into IY plus A square into IB. And now similarly in the same sequence, calculation for the negative sequence current. So for this, multiply the expression 2 by A square and 3 by A, just the reverse of this. Okay. And then adding to the expression number 1. Okay. Simply that is IR plus A square IY. This time it is A square IY plus A into IB. So this is the result on this side. And A4, we know that it is A. This is A cube into A. So A, this comes to be 0. And A cube is 1, A cube is 1. So it comes to be together 3 times IR2. And here it is again 0, 1 plus A square plus A, it is 0. And this comes up with the 3IR2. And the negative sequence current, then it is equals to 1 by 3 of IR plus A square IY plus A into IB. Or simply omitting this subscript R, it can be written as 1 by 3 IR plus A square IY plus AIB. Okay, so this is how to calculate the zero sequence current. For zero sequence current, simply we add these 3 equations. Okay, for positive sequence current, we multiply one with A, other with A square, and then add to the first. And for the negative sequence current, we multiply the second by A, third by A, second by A square, third by A, and then add to the first. And this is how these are the results. Okay, so the method applies equally to voltages also. Thus, the symmetrical voltage components for the R phase in terms of the phase voltages shall be written as in the similar way. Okay, as we have calculated here in the form of currents now. So in the similar way, these equations can also be written for the voltages also. So E naught, it is equals to simply the sum of 3 divided by 3. Okay, E1 is equals to, that is for the positive sequence. That is 1 by 3 ER plus A into EY plus A square into EB. And negative sequence voltage, that is equals to 1 by 3 ER plus A square EY plus AEB. So the important points now, the presence of negative or zero sequence currents in the three-phase system introduces unsymmetry, okay, and is indicative of an abnormal condition of the circuit that we have already discussed, that when the negative or zero sequence currents are there in the system now, so that means there must be some fault in the system. That system is not now a balanced system. That will now be a unbalanced system. So for the unbalanced system, there must be a presence of negative or zero sequence currents. A balanced three-phase system consists of positive sequence components only. Okay, the negative and zero sequence components be zero. For the balanced system, there will be only positive sequence components. Okay, these components then become zero. Or you can say that when these components become zero, that means our system becomes balanced. So the vector sum of the positive and negative sequence currents of an unbalanced current three-phase system is 0. So that means when you add up the vector sum of positive and negative sequence currents, it is equal to 0. So that means the positive sequence currents are equal in magnitude to the negative sequence currents. They are equal in magnitude, but there is the phase opposition is there only. So in a three-phase, four-wire unbalanced system, the magnitude of zero sequence component is 1/3 of the current in the neutral wire. Okay, so this is how it seen from this equation also. The zero sequence current, it is equals to 1/3 of ER plus EY plus EB, and we know that this sum flows in the neutral wire. So this can also be written in this form also, that zero sequence current, it is equals to 1/3 of the current in the neutral wire. Okay, you can also say it like this. Now let's have this numerical first, that is related with the sequence components of currents. So this type of numericals will be there in the theory part also. So the three-phase voltages of a three-phase system are, let us suppose A phase, B phase and C phase are there. So A phase is 230 angle 0 degree, and B phase, here the voltage is 210 angle minus 110 degree, and for the C phase it is 190 magnitude with angle 110 degree, let us say. So determine the sequence components of voltages. Okay, so for the sequence components of voltages, here the phase sequence is A, B and C. And firstly, for the positive sequence component, we know that this is the equation. And as we have seen here that in the question, the values are given in the form of voltages. Okay, it is given in the form of voltages VA, VB and VC. So you have to write down the equation in the form of voltages. So for the positive sequence first. So it is 1/3 VA plus A VB plus A square VC. Okay, see here also. This is the equation. This is for the positive sequence. This is for negative sequence. So it is 1/3 of ER plus A, EY and A square and so on. So just applying the same equation, put down the values. VA is equals to this one. Okay. What is A? A is 1 angle 120 degree. VB is this plus A square. A square is 1 angle minus 120 degree, or you can also write it as 1 angle 240 degree. Okay, you can also write in that in the positive angle form for 240 degree, and this one is VC, and just solve it and you got VA1, that is equals to 207.97 angle 0.32 degree. Okay, so this is how, just applying the equation, put down the values for the different voltages that are given in the question, put down the values for the operator A. A is 1 angle 120 degree and so on, and calculate for the sequence current. And similarly for the negative sequence component, the equation is 1/3 VA plus A square VB plus A VC. Now, okay, and just simply put down the values. A square is 1 angle minus 120 degree or 240 degree, you can also write. Okay, this is VB given in the question. A, this is A operator. This is VC given in the question, and just solve it and you got this as answer. Now for the zero phase sequence component, it is simply add all the voltages and divide it by 3. Okay, 1/3 of this plus this plus this. Okay, and you got this answer. So this is how the numerical is based upon the sequence components, and how the sequence components are calculated if the voltages or currents are given in the question. Okay. So, and this is the one set of voltages, and similarly, hence the positive sequence components are these three. Okay, VA1, VB2, sorry, VA2 and VA0. So like in these steps, na, this step. This here you have calculated only VA1. Okay, see. Here you have calculated only VA2, only VA0, only that are related with the A phase. Okay, so what to do for the B phase? Just give them the phase displacement of 120 degree. Okay, for the C phase and so on. Just see here. Like once you calculated VA1, VA2 and VA0. Then after for VB1 and for C1, just give the phase displacement of 120 degree. Okay, just give the phase displacement of 120 degree or plus 240 degree. Okay, similarly, that means the magnitude does not change. For the positive phase sequence, all the magnitude of the voltages remain same, but the phase displacement is there of 120 degree between the three sequence components. And similarly, for the negative sequence component, this is the magnitude that will remain same. And here comes out to be the phase difference of 120 degree. And similarly for here, the zero sequence components, the magnitude remains same and the there is no phase difference. Okay, it is at the zero. If one comes out to be minus 11.40, then all will be at the minus 11.40. No 120 displacement is here in this the zero sequence component terms. So in this way, you have to complete this numerical. So these are the complete answers. They simply told you to determine the sequence components of the voltages. That means the sequence component of voltages for all the three phases. Okay, for the A phase, for the B phases, and for the C phases.